beautiful. We are reading in A Course in Miracles in the text in chapter 21, Reason and Perception, section 1, The Forgotten Song, and we will start in paragraph 3. There is no need to learn through pain. Okay, I'm going to read that again because I love that sentence so much. There is no need to learn through pain. Okay, one more time because this is so important. And if we really understood and believed this one principle, our life could go from difficult and painful and filled with suffering to happiness and joy and ease, like that, if we really believed it. I'm going to read it one more time. There is no need to learn through pain. And gentle lessons are acquired joyously and are remembered gladly. What gives you happiness, you want to learn and not forget. It is not this you would deny. Your question is whether the means by which this course is learned will bring to you the joy it promises. If you believed it would, the learning of it would be no problem. You are not a happy learner yet because you still remain uncertain that vision gives you more than judgment does. Okay, I'll pause here and say, we're still a little bit on ego side. We're like, if I judge and blame and critique and make everybody wrong and I'm right and they're awful and I'm good, like it kind of gives me a little bit of a payout, I guess, in a sick, twisted way that never lasts and that causes more pain than happiness, but it's something, right? Maybe it's actually not something, it's all delusion, but still, what do they say? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. Of Course in Miracles is offering us not to choose between the devil we know and the devil we don't know, but to choose between delusion and reality, to choose between suffering and joy. If you believed it would, the learning would be no problem. You are not a happy learner yet because you still remain uncertain that vision will give you more than judgment does. And you have learned that both you cannot have. Woo! So we're at a really kind of exciting point in the course here, and maybe in our individual lives, where we get to decide. Although I'm going to pause here and say, I already know you've made the decision. You wouldn't be here watching this. You're ready. You might not be a happy learner yet, but you're convinced enough. You've seen enough to know that judgment isn't really giving you anything that you want. And since we can't have both, we might as well keep going and see what can replace judgment and guilt, which has given us nothing. The blind become accustomed to their world by their adjustments to it. They think they know their way about in it. They learned it not through joyous lessons, but through the stern necessity of limits they believe they could not overcome. I'm going to pause and say that's really sad. That's human nature. That's the human condition right there. And still, believing this, they hold those lessons dear and cling to them because they cannot see. They do not understand the lessons keep them blind. This they do not believe. And so they keep the world they learn to see in their imagination, believing that their choice is that or nothing. They hate the world they learned through pain, and everything they think is in it serves to remind them that they are incomplete and bitterly deprived. Oh my goodness, this is so true. This is the thought system of ego. And when we're ego identified, that's how we think and that's how we experience life. And the human condition from this vantage point is miserable. Thus they define their life and where they live, adjusting to it as they think they must, afraid to lose the little that they have. And so it is with all who see the body as all they have and all their brothers have. They try to reach each other and they fail and fail again. I'm going to pause here and say that makes me want to cry. People are so lonely. They try to reach each other and they fail and fail again. Sweet and precious souls. And they adjust to loneliness, believing that to keep the body is to save the little that they have. Listen and try to think if you remember what we will speak of now. Listen, perhaps you catch a hint of an ancient state not quite forgotten, dim perhaps, and yet not altogether unfamiliar, like a song whose name is long forgotten, and then the circumstances in which you heard completely unremembered. Not the whole song has stayed with you, but just a little wisp of melody attached not to a person or a place or anything particular. But you remember from just this little part how lovely was the song, how wonderful the setting where you heard it. and how you loved those who were there and listened with you. The notes are nothing, but you have kept them with you, not for themselves, but as a soft reminder of what would make you weep if you remembered how dear it was to you. You could remember, yet you are afraid, believing you would lose the world you learned since then. And yet you know that nothing in the world you learned is half so dear as this. Listen and see if you remember an ancient song you knew so long ago and held more dear than any melody you taught yourself to cherish. Sense. Beyond the body, beyond the sun and stars, past everything you see and yet somehow familiar, is an arc of golden light that stretches as you look into a great and shining circle. And all the circle fills with light before your eyes. The edges of the circle disappear, and what is in it is no longer contained at all. The light expands and covers everything, extending to infinity, forever shining, and with no break or limit anywhere. Within it, everything is joined in perfect continuity, nor is it possible to imagine that anything could be outside, for there is nowhere that this light is not. This is the vision of the Son of God, whom you know well. Here is the side of him who knows his Father. Here is the memory of what you are. I'm going to read that again. Here is the memory of what you are. A part of this, and all of it within, and joined to all as surely as all is joined in you. As within, so without. As without, so within. Accept the vision that can show you this and not the body. You know the ancient song and know it well. Nothing will ever be as dear to you as is this ancient hymn of love the Son of God sings to his Father still. And now the blind can see, for that same song they sing in honor of their Creator gives praise to them as well. The blindness that they made will not withstand the memory of this song. And they will look upon the vision of the Son of God, remembering who he is they sing of. What is a miracle but this remembering? And who is there in whom this memory lies not? The light in one awakens it in all. And when you see it in your brother, you are remembering for everyone. Ooh, it makes me feel so happy reading that. Have you ever just looked into someone's eyes and had that moment of like, oh, wow. God is in them. And our sacred creed is that everyone is our equal. There's no one above you. There's no one below you. Look others in the eye and see the light of the Creator in their eyes. And don't worry about any of the silly nonsense that ego worries about. Oh, what do you do for a living? I'm not saying that those things can't be fun. It's fun. We're playing a character. We can ask about the character. But know what lies beyond that. The pauper is no greater than the king no greater than the pauper. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being you. Perfect, whole, and complete. As you always were and always will be. Despite any external appearances. Temporal, external appearances. I love you. I'll see you soon.